365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Everybody, I'm here, live and in full effect. I ain't running from nobody. I ain't never scared of nothing. I'm excited, and I ain't scared, and I ain't got a flash of gun to prove I ain't scared because I'm a real one.
Wow.
You know what it is. IG Live, I keep it on me. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Fellas, how are we this evening? Chris, so good to hear from you.
You know, I'm still upset. I think I'm going to be upset, honestly, until September when the Eagles come back.
Yeah, you do have the Eagles in the tuck. I'll give you that.
I've never been so embarrassed to be a Sixers fan. This is the most embarrassment. I'm more embarrassed now. Words can't even explain. I'm just you know what? Just gonna shut up and just be happy the fact that I graduated. I'm gonna let that, you know, keep a smile on my face because I don't know how the Sixers ruined such a good weekend. They ruined Mother's Day. My mom's a diehard Sixers fan, and she was pissed. We was in Maryland at my grandparents' house in the middle of the fourth quarter. She said, "I can't take this no more. We got to get back on the road." So the Sixers ended up ruining Mother's Day. They just, the Sixers.
John, you are correct. We will be diving in to the great Doc Rivers, not the late Doc Rivers, not yet. Still hanging around, doing exit interviews. I'm sure Ben Simmons is somewhere, cracked himself a brew, or and he don't have a right to really troll, if we're being honest, because he was trash too. Like he missed his opportunity, but a good troll is a good troll. So yeah, that's where we are. Dev, what's going on with you, man?
Man, just chilling out here, grinding. You know, out here, just keep on putting my thoughts out, boy. My 106 thought dropping soon. I can't wait to drop 107 because that's when I talk about Ja. Yeah. I can't wait. But on 106, man, we talking about how the Bucks fired their head coach, how Aaron Rodgers finally made it over to the Jets, and give y'all a little update on the NBA playoffs, how that's been going on.
Okay. I like to hear it. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Hopefully everybody had a good Mother's Day weekend. To those of you, I saw a lot of people that did not get to necessarily celebrate today or that day. And it's tough. So prayers and support for all of those people as well. But we here for basketball. And what a second round we had. I did not do the math because I've been running around, so I'm going to have to do this math on the fly. And I haven't been in math class for a long time, so y'all going to bear with me and give me as I try and calculate these wrong predictions that we had.
Oof.
So, Chris, you will get you in on the next round since you are here tonight, and hopefully Kenny will jump on here shortly. But this is what we got. Denver won. They won in 5 or 6. 6, right?
6.
Okay. So I had that right. I had Denver 4-2. Kenny had Phoenix 4-2. Dev had Phoenix 4-3. Why y'all believe in Chris Paul? Why y'all believe in DeAndre Ayton? Why y'all believe in Monty Williams? I don't know. I chose to bet on, and I'm going to sound like a hypocrite here, the 3-time defending MVP. He was playing like he should have won MVP this year. Shout out to Joel Embiid. I rode with you, but boy, you make us look foolish these days because Jokic has been losing his mind in these playoffs, and Embiid just been missing too often. So that's 1-0 for me, 0-1 for y'all. I incorrectly picked the Golden State in 6. Kenny also picked the Golden State in 7. And Dev, the lone Lakers holdout. We'll get to the games here in a minute. I got a lot of thoughts on that series. I got a lot of thoughts. You got your 106 thoughts. I might have 107 tonight. I ain't gonna lie. It was an interesting series. Steve Kerr had some interesting sound bites after the series, which I didn't love. But when you don't have a contract and you're a potential free agent coach, and there's a lot of job opportunities, so Golden State, I want to get that together, but we'll get to that in a minute. So everybody's 1-1 except Kenny, who's 0-2. We all picked the Knicks. We were all wrong.
Womp womp womp.
Oh, y'all picked the Knicks? Oh, y'all were crazy. I'll say this. I did pick the Heat. I picked the Suns. I obviously picked my Sixers, and I picked the Lakers. But y'all crazy if y'all picked the Knicks. I'm sorry. The Knicks.
What you failed to realize, educated college graduate,
Get him.
Miami was a play-in team that lost to the Hawks.
Oh, I know what Miami was, but I also know what the Knicks are.
And so when they upset the Bucks, I was like, matchup. But the Knicks had dominated the Cavs.
They did. We talked about this. They did.
Jalen Brunson was cooking. Tyler Hero broke his hand. I thought.
And Adebayo wasn't no show in the beginning.
Bam ain't, don't get me started on Bam. Bam might be my new Ayton here soon enough, but I can't go there yet. I thought the Knicks, I bought the Kenny hype. I was rocking with Kenny, and I was right. The Wizards were worse than the Knicks. I did all that. I bought it. And now Boston is trying to get me to believe them again. And I don't know what to do. But we're going to figure it out here shortly. So, yes, I foolishly, like the rest of my foolish co-hosts, dang, Kenny ain't got one right yet. He ain't get none of them right because he picked Philly. Kenny, get on the show. You missed every single series last round. Oh, man. Nate, you was rocking too, and then you went astray. So actually, I'm not as bad as I thought because I picked Boston. So I went 2-2. Up, there. Woo!
KNY.
Nah, he don't get the NY. He just get the KN. He just get the KEN. You just Ken right now.
I'm so disgusted.
0-4 in round 2.
0-4. I'm so disgusted.
So 2-2. This second round beat us up because Dev, you was 1-3. You picked Philly 4-2. I had Boston 4-3. I bet on them this time and they won. God, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next round because I really don't feel like trusting them again. But Jason Tatum, Chris and I was on last time. I said you should trade him.
I don't know what the hell you was thinking.
Well, the first half of Game 6, I looked like a savant and Ray Stradamus. And really, up until the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter of Game 6, I looked great. And then the end of Game 6 and the whole Game 7 happened. And I still might trade him if you don't win the finals because his value just went through the roof over this performance. But that's hard to do right now because he just had a Game 7 record, which is corny, but I get it. That's what they do. Steph was padding the stats. I'm be consistent. Steph padded the stats to get 50. Jason Tatum padded him to get 51. That's just the way it works. But Kenny, what's going on, man? How you feeling? What's up with you?
I'm disgusted, man. Not only did my Knicks let me down, but Philly just totally disgusted me. I was listening while I was trying to get something real quick before I jumped on. But man, Chris, I feel your pain because I'm just as disgusted with my Knicks as not as much as disgusted as you are with the Sixers, but it's pretty close. And we're gonna get to it in a second. But Julius Randle, I got some words for you, brother. And Dev too. Hold on, one more thing too. And Dev too. I got words for Dev because Dev jinxed us. Dev gonna put this, but I saw it on Instagram. Are the Knicks in trouble after Game 4? I'm like, this man out here already putting negative in the atmosphere, and this man jinxed us.
No, because I hopped on that bandwagon. I said, yo, bus driver, come this way real quick. You know what I mean? I hopped on your bus. I gave y'all props. I said Jalen Brunson has made me change the way I had look at the Knicks. And now Julius Randle just has made me change the way to look at the Knicks. So it was Jalen Brunson that got me on, but it was Julius Randle that most definitely got me off. Now I'm back door.
Yeah, I will say before we get into each round, this is going to be an interesting offseason. A lot of teams got a lot of decisions.
That's an understatement.
Quality teams too. Like the Sixers got some decisions, the Warriors got some decisions. I think the Knicks got some decisions, the Suns got some decisions, the Mavs. Like it's a lot of teams.
Oh, Kenny, I got a question for you too, man. Once we get to that Knicks topic.
So yeah. And I knew this lovely gentleman hit me night. Hey,
Dan, do the Millie Rock. Do the Millie Rock. Hey, do the switch. Do the switch. Hey, King River switch. The Bobby Brown switch.
It is a happy day for the Lakers fans. I understand.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy?
He on one tonight, y'all. So I can see how this is about to go.
I expected this. I welcome this. This is how it should be. When you win, you get to do the thing. So I ain't messing around.
Game 6, Clay. What happened to Game 6, Clay?
You had to tell me. I thought he would show up. I made some friendly bets, and I don't even like betting on my team. But I was like,
break that team apart. You hear me?
I said trade Clay a long time ago.
Little Fizz and J Bug. He's a Marion. Steph. Break them apart.
You call him J-Bug? That's disrespectful. Come on, man.
Clay and J-Bug and Draymond and Lil Fizz. You got to break them apart. Let that Marion live.
Wow.
One great man stood, and Omarion just didn't have enough backup dancers. I guess I get that now.
Say you are not part of this tour.
Dancers didn't dance. And we just hope they don't try and take his girl.
That stuff was looking sad. Like, you know what I mean? When G Baby died off a hardball, that's how sad it was looking. Steph and everything.
It was tough. But Steph been through this. He'll be back. People conveniently forget, like, he won the finals last year. It seems like so long ago. I don't know why, but it happens. So, and now let me be clear, and y'all can kill me all you want. I'm rooting for Celtics Lakers. Like, that's the final.
Now we here. Like Marty Morris said, we here.
That's what I want. I don't know if that'll happen, but I think the NBA wants it for sure.
Oh yeah,
and
that's the best ratings. That's the best rating series for the NBA.
100%.
Miami Denver is not the ratings.
No, that's the least.
I think
Miami LA would be the two best cities.
That's my prediction right there. Miami LA back to the bubble again.
But nobody, please don't take this.
That Miami
that's
team,
career suicide.
I should put more respect on Miami. I should.
Absolutely.
But I don't. So I don't want to see them play the Lakers. I think that's a 5-game series max. I thought the Lakers should have swept 4 games, to be honest. Like, I was shocked.
Well, I mean, it almost was in the bubble because Jimmy went crazy that one game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's going to take.
And Morris Quinn threw the game away.
Yeah. I just don't think – I know Miami keep winning. I don't see it. And if they beat Boston, they'll shut me up. But
I don't see that.
Bruce and Vincent is not beating that Lakers team. Sorry, not sorry. So yeah. But let's where do we want to start? Let's start at the top. Lakers Warriors, biggest game, biggest series by most cases. I'm gonna get out of the way. I talked a lot already. Dev, I'll start with you as the resident host of Lakers Fandom, and then I'm sure Rod will interject as needed, and we can get it going from there.
Let's get this suit and tie together real quick. Let me get my close up, Mr. Cameraman. There we go. There we go.
I know Baltimore City has lights.
Hey, I talked to the mayor, man. I say, we need the lights on tonight, baby, because I got something to say.
This is over the Western Conference.
We were 0.3% chance of making the playoffs. We were in the 12th and 13th seed all the way to the All-Star break. Nobody believed in us. It was Dave, go to your corner. The Lakers are old. They are suck. AD got street clothes on. LeBron is getting all his injuries late. Y'all remember this conversation? We can run these tapes back, boy. And I had to go sit in the corner in the beginning of the season. I couldn't say nothing.
Hey, Dad, but I gotta say this real quick. It was like Jenny Buss became like saving Isaiah when she saved the black boy. It was LeBron. She brought some new presents.
Even that old blind spot, you know what I mean? Either or, but that's thing, you know, it was the only thing that LeBron was going to be having fun with was breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record. And then after that, that was the only fame that the Lakers was going to have. My God, it does not look fun when the rabbit has the gun. Because it looks like the Lakers are fully loaded, and it looks like we can end up in a championship. Now, what are the chances? Wasn't that 0.3% chance of us making it anywhere? God, boy. Remember, I was in the basement and the Wizards was better than us. I had to sit and listen to you and Kenny go back and forth. I had to sit and listen. I had to listen to Chris go about, Embiid this and the Sixers is this. Man, it feels good to be sitting on top. Me and LeBron, AD, my man Rod, Jeannie, Rob Pelinka. This is like, don't forget Coach Donovan Hand because he's driving the bus right now. He's driving the bus right now. Yeah. And we went from the bottom of LA to now riding into Denver in the Western Conference Finals, man. Oof. That's all. I'm done gloating. Go ahead, Rod. You can go ahead. Man. I got you on base.
It was a famous song by Teddy Pendergrass. It said the whole town was laughing at us, but you would never know. But now we know the Lakers real. You know what I mean? I'm so glad I had to text Ray. I know Ray probably was at church, but I had to text him anyway. The spirit of winning hit me. The spirit of winning hit me. And I said, man, people didn't believe in us, man.
I ain't even want to text the guys. I just left them alone. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just. What Jason Tatum say? Respectfully, I'm respectfully the best in the league. I'm respectfully the Lakers are respectfully the best team in the West right now.
And you put Wiggins on him when you know his ribs is messed up. And he said LeBron said barbecue chicken. You know what I mean?
He had ribs. He had the short stack.
The Chinese special down the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we was looking, and I was looking. I said, man, people thought I was crazy. I said, man, the Lakers gonna make the playoffs. I had it in the beginning of the season. I said the Lakers gonna make. I told Dev when we first met. I said, Dev, chill out, man. We gonna make the playoffs.
I was frustrated.
Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? This broad gonna go get a BBL. She gonna change her face up, and she gonna be ready for the market. I told him, hold up, we about to make a quick flip, and he didn't want to believe me. I said, man, we're good. And we traded that bum ass Westbrook out. We traded that bum Pat Bev, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, amen. Amen.
Traded him back to Chi-Town, and look at us now. 4 more games to go, and we can be in the finals. At this man at 38, you know what I mean, with a ball spot like me. You know what I mean? Look how God works, right? I feel you. I 10% of a homeless man the other day. I gave him $5. Look at my Lakers win. Go ahead.
Look at your Lakers win.
Here they come. Here comes the storm. Here it comes. Let's get ready to start pouring.
Not for me. I have nothing negative to say. The better team won, in my opinion. I'm not gonna hold you. In hindsight,
hey, I gotta say this, Ray, real quick.
What?
Jordan Poole gotta go, cuz. I gotta say this. Tobias Harris a bum too. Let me say that real quick.
Chris, would you like to respond to that?
I'm gonna wait till it's time to talk about the Sixers.
Okay. But go.
You might as well go all Big Bird and Julius Randle in the mix too.
Oh yeah, Julius Randle.
This is the problem.
That boy's soft and Clay
Now
Holland.
y'all getting disrespected.
Nathan Bunn.
Y'all starting to shoot.
Nathan Bunn
Oh Lord.
in New York. He's soft, boy. Go ahead.
Everybody.
Boy, y'all was shooting at me all season, boy. It is finally.
Here's what the thing that people forget about me. I love Kobe. I named my most recent son Kobe.
My boy's son named Kobe. I feel you.
At my heart, I kind of want the Lakers to be okay because of Kobe. It's hard. It's hard to embrace their new face. He's not for me per se, but I respect what he does. I will also tell you, I don't know what he believes in, this LeBron James, but somehow he manages to have the most clutch role player moments in history.
Hold on. Now you're disrespecting my man now.
Whoa. I'll let you
let him get it. Let him finish.
Shane Battier, Mario Chalmers, Mike Miller, Lonnie Walker, Matthew Dellavedova. I got to give him the credit because somehow these players perform at Austin Reeves. They perform immaculately.
You don't think MJ ain't have a lot? And even the Lakers, even though the Lakers and Kobe and Shaq.
Different players and different.
You don't think Stephen Curry had no legendary players?
No, I'm not about the role players. I agree with you. I'm just saying that I think you could add Jordan to that list and Shaq and Kobe. They had some too. Can't forget about those guys.
Individually in different locations.
No, I see your point for sure.
Like Lonnie Walker was nobody, and then in one game of his life. Mario Chalmers in that one. Ray Allen, shot of his life. Like
Ray Allen was that dude. Come on,
I'm about to say.
At that point in Ray Allen's career,
he wasn't what he was.
At that point in Ray Allen's career, he was a role player, and he played his role phenomenally. But it's just Mark Jackson says it all the time. It's a make or miss league, and the Lakers, in every closeout game, one team was hitting and one team wasn't. Because almost all of them was blowouts.
Great defense, though, by Darvin Ham. Great defensive play.
It wasn't great defense when Clay's 3 of 19. It wasn't all contested threes. Like
it was rough.
It was rough. Rebounds back out and shooting bricks. I think it was the Sixers game last night. Reed or somebody was in the corner, and he's a shooter. He had 2 shots left him short. I think the schedule factored in. That every other night, I thought it would impact the Warriors. I mean, the Lakers more. The Warriors look tired. Like, all them jump shooters, and I said that early on. I said the Warriors are a jump shooting team. The Lakers are getting layups. That's usually not a good recipe for disaster in a long series or recipe for success in a long series.
But where do we go from here, Ray, though? Where do you see it? How would you rebuild this roster as it currently is?
I think the Warriors are in a great spot. I'm not paying.
So you give everybody max contracts. Draymond.
No. Clay. By all reports, is going to take a pay cut. He should. I would still trade him.
Yeah, but he still has 1 more year on his deal.
Listen, if you want to stay in Golden State, you were going to
understand. I'm just saying that the fact that he has 1 more year on his deal, like they can't really do anything with him right now. Only one that really could do something with is Draymond, and that is if he decides to use his player option.
I completely disagree. I think an expiring contract with Klay Thompson, you put Klay Thompson on a whole lot of teams right now, not to be a defender. The man, you don't forget how to shoot.
Right.
I think in a lot of environments with contenders, I would swap him for Chris Middleton. I would put him in Milwaukee right now. Like, I think there's a bunch of places. If Austin don't go somewhere, you can Horford will match the money. You can hit a package. I think Klay Thompson's valuable.
No, I understand. I was saying to your point about the pay cut. They can't do anything in terms of him taking a pay cut. They could trade his expiring contract. I agree with you there.
The rumor is he would renegotiate for a pay cut. If that happens, I don't know. They got a decision to make. Wiggins, Dre, Clay, and Steph are all maxes. And the new CBA makes that cost prohibitive. So I think somebody should go. If it was
I think Jordan Poole should go, man.
I would not trade Jordan Poole.
I wouldn't trade Jordan Poole.
I think that is gross.
What did he average? What did he do in this playoff?
Yeah, but
talking about
that was this series. The
I was say
he was
you
good.
got to think he got his money off of what he did last year. He did what he was supposed to do last year.
Clay wasn't good most of this year.
Right.
Draymond was hurt. Steph been hurt. Somebody over there was helping them.
He averaged 20 a game for the year. Like, let's not forget.
Like, I know he had a bad series. I know he got punched, and there might have been some animosity. But I'm not just giving that guy away.
Changed the whole season up for him.
If he hits that 35-footer, we could be talking about him completely different. Like,
I feel you, Ray. And if my baby mom didn't put me on child support, my pocket's been different too. You know what I mean? I can't say you to what it is.
My point is, if you are going to trade that person, that's a mistake. So if you want to say, my baby mom yelled at me one time, so I'm breaking up with her, and now I'm on child support, you got yourself to blame. When people be tripping, you gotta look at the bigger picture. I think going to the bigger issues real quick, and I'll let you go, Kenny, is their GM is not under contract, neither is their coach.
Yeah,
so they got a lot of
Steve Kerr's not under contract either. I didn't see that.
I think by the end of June, the GM will be over.
The GM for sure. I knew that.
Steve Kerr, I think his deal, I don't know what day it is, but I'm pretty sure his deal is he's open.
Okay.
Somebody can fact check me, but that was a report that I read. They got a lot of when you ask what to do, I don't envy anybody in that organization because they got some tough decisions, and it's personal, and it shouldn't be personal, but Golden State is kind of a personal culture thing, and I hope they don't blindly stick to that. Break it up. John, to your point, talking about Clay. That's a terrible deal. They're
saying that Steve Kerr is signed through all the way through 2023 to 2024 season.
Oh, so one more year.
One more year. Okay.
I think they need to get a solid 5, though, man. They lacking a great 5. Looney is great, but I don't think he's
what about that?
I think they got. Y'all don't think that Warriors got if they?
You have to use the depth though.
Like, if they take another step in that culture.
But I mean that another step was supposed to come this year, in my opinion, from Kuminga Moody. I didn't see it.
Yes,
that's what
they didn't have the time
on that bench.
That's why you got to get Draymond and Clay out the way.
See, you say that, but Draymond was by far the second and third best player this series. Draymond been consistent.
This series?
I'm not going. Am I reaching? I mean, he was better than Mesha parlays up Klay Thompson.
When Draymond attacked the basket to score, he was maybe the third best player. Draymond passed up so many driving layups that turned into bad passes and turnovers. He just don't look to score. Kevon Looney get the ball into the basket sometime. He don't look to score.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like, I get being passive. I get Steph and Clay, but god dang, y'all be having layups. And y'all don't even look at the basket.
They make Rudy Hachimura look like James Worthy. It's not good. It's not good. Like,
I think the Warriors most definitely going to have to go back into their first championship type depth. They're going to have to get a Livingston.
Get AD out that rotation, free up that roster spot, stop hoarding the roster spot, retire.
Iggy did retire. He retired.
He
retired.
No, he said he tweeted that he hadn't retired.
Yeah, he's not retiring. He said he's not retiring this year.
What? He's done.
Yeah,
you got his ass and they're going to UD him. Get him off the bench. He ain't doing
that man been like chicken.
Or just make him a coach. Like,
make him assistant coach.
Me, I don't understand these, like, because these staffs have all of these player development coaches and all these guys sitting behind the bench. Just make them like him and has them. I don't understand it.
Hey, Ray, you got 7-Elevens out there in Virginia?
Of course.
He's like one of them hot dogs, them big bites that been sitting for too long and they burnt. You know what I mean? You gotta throw them away, man. Them Takis, they've been sitting there on that spinner too long. You can't do nothing with them. Them nip trucks.
When you start getting AARP stuff in the mail, it's time to hang it up. And he gotta go. He's always hurt. He's unproductive. I don't even know what his voice is because Jordan Poole ain't listening. So,
so let me ask you.
He the Andrew Wiggins whisperer.
Is the consensus that Clay and Draymond got to go?
I'm gonna root for Draymond. I think Draymond should go.
One has to go.
One has to go, but I'm leaning towards more Draymond than I am with Clay.
You gotta get some young legs in there, Kenny. That's the biggest problem.
That's my point. Like
you
to
can't,
me,
you can't keep dinosaurs on that benches. You know what I mean?
That's tricky. That's tricky because y'all got a lot of older players in LA that played well.
Ooh.
You still got your two biggest stars. What are you talking about?
What you call 30 years old? What you mean?
Wait, AD's in his prime. I'm confused.
I'm confused.
AD's in his. Y'all think AD's in his prime?
AD is not like Klay Thompson.
Who's 30?
Okay.
You know how many blocks he got in this playoff season?
Lower body injuries.
No. The question is always of health, but I'm not going to say that he's
y'all judging on age as a number. He went one and done. He's been in the league a long time.
But he just recently, you know what I mean? People forget. In high school,
he just now hit him 10 years?
You know what I mean? He had to grow in that body.
Y'all, I hear you. I think that's old. A 10-year veteran to me is relatively old. That's not a young player.
Klay Thompson blew out his knee 3 times, man.
Why do you keep talking about Klay? We're talking about the Lakers. I didn't say Klay.
I'm just saying, AD never blew out his knee 3 times.
Wait, so is the Lakers question what's your question in their age?
I think they have older players on that team as well. And I think you have to have a balance.
Older players like who?
I think young. I think like 3 to 5 years.
You see, but when you talking older players, I'm thinking you're talking about their main guys.
Once you're
going to go to state, their main guys are old.
Is young. I don't.
I think like if you're looking at the two teams, the Lakers have a younger core than Golden State. It's not even close.
Yeah. It's not even close.
I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm saying you're all talking about getting rid of all the Warriors veterans. It sounds like Iggy.
No.
I was just trying to get a consensus.
Iggy's that motherfucker.
The question was, are we getting rid of Iggy or Clay and Draymond? The consensus was
not all three. Not all three. 2 got to go.
I don't think
Iggy's gone.
So we're saying the 3 is definitely Iggy. So it's out of Iggy, Draymond, and Clay.
And Wiggins is a max deal too.
Okay.
I don't see Draymond.
So we're putting them in the mix too.
I take that back. You got 5 max players: Poole, Curry, Wiggins, Draymond, and Clay. You got to get rid of at least 2 of them jokers.
But where would Draymond be effective at?
Draymond can everywhere.
He won't ever. I don't think he'll ever be as effective as he was in Golden State.
I don't think
that might be true. You don't think Draymond's ability to play defense?
Oh no, he'll bring value to a team.
Running facility. Y'all beat me down with
I'm not saying he doesn't bring value to a team. I'm just. This is me talking. I just think that he don't bring nowhere near the value that he brings to Golden State as he would to another team. Like, just say, for example, if he
was in Memphis, Memphis might be a championship contender.
No.
Oh, no, he would bring him some value. I agree with you.
No, not like
that. I don't think he would be as valuable as he is in Golden State.
But Memphis' problem still is putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah.
I think with
someone like the same amount of shooters.
I think he brings the best out of players. I think Draymond is extremely valuable in a lot of ways that it may not score in the box sheet. But I think
he's a great value towards Diallo to me.
Here's a question. That's a really good comparison. I was about to ask something similar to that. Do we think that Draymond outside of Golden State still is the same Draymond? Because Draymond in college could score.
No, I don't.
So you think he's worse of a player? His skill set?
No, I just don't. I don't think that. I think it has to be one of those situations where he's got to be perfect. The right team. Like he's got to go to a team that has shooters that his playmaking skills can be able that he could be able to play off of. Because I think that's what makes him work in Golden State. That he could play off of Steph, he could play off of Clay with his passing ability.
But you don't, and I think that's the thing. There's so many point guards that got the ball in their hand. I think Atlanta could use a Draymond. I think Dallas could use a Draymond.
I think Milwaukee could kind of use a Draymond.
I think Chicago, like there's so many teams that his skill set that could take the ball out of dominant ball handlers.
Only one team I see he can fit, Ray.
All those point guards cause offenses to stick. Draymond can get your offense moving. He will make a lot of the times the right play. You got to deal with his attitude because he's a head case. They need to
I think the Spurs probably be the best team for him. The Spurs.
No.
Why would
He ain't going there.
He ain't going there.
The problem is wherever Draymond go, they have to have shooters. It's not going to work if they don't have no shooters.
The NBA has shooters. What are y'all talking about?
You can't say the NBA has shooters, then why do struggle to knock down the 3-pointer?
I think
they're setting record paces at shooting. Like there's a bunch of teams that got shooters.
I know a team that also
a bunch of people that shoot the ball.
Exactly.
I don't know if we got.
I know a team that could probably benefit. I know a team that probably would benefit with Draymond, and that just got out the playoffs. The Sixers. No, the Sixers. If they take PJ Tucker out that lineup, and you plug in Dre, you know what I mean? Because it's a possibility you might lose Harden. You know, it's a slight possibility. So if you lose Harden, I would take away PJ Tucker and I would slide Draymond Green in that role, because that way you have your point forward and you still have somebody that can run your defense.
Even for the Lakers, I think he fits there. He could give AD a break because we know AD don't want to bang. He will bang. Y'all got rid of Thomas Bryant. Like his skill set fits almost. There's way more teams that would benefit from Draymond.
But the Sixers. And B don't got no heart, man. You gotta go to the
which is why you need Draymond.
That's why you would take Draymond. Yeah, you don't have you wouldn't have had to have Embiid trying to be your fighter. Now you got Draymond that's gonna total cross that line and say, "This is my guy. I got this."
You might call Embiid a hoe, so you might be out the Sixers quick.
And he might need to call him.
He
that.
got
and he might have that attitude. And you know, Philly, they love players that's like pretty much on that edge, because Philly is on that edge.
Oh yeah,
he a Philly
right. I ain't gonna lie. If Draymond come to Philly, like Draymond, he might get the most love since Allen Iverson.
If he went to Miami, you don't think he could fit in Miami? Like
I think so.
Oh yeah, but we talking about it. But for me, we're talking about his effectiveness.
Yeah.
I think
I'm sure he could fit in a bunch of different teams and play a role. I'm just not sure if he would be as effective as he is in Golden State. That's my whole point.
A starter that's playing 35 minutes on some of these other teams, maybe not. But I think 20.
That's my point.
If you're getting 25 hard Draymond minutes, I think that helps your team.
The only thing about the Miami part, I don't like about the Miami part is that they don't have a lot of shooters and they rely on Jimmy a little bit too much. And I think if you plug him and Draymond in, it's like you taking the ball out of Jimmy's hand a little bit more down in the clutch a little bit.
So we're all GMs here. If you bring Draymond in, you might got to trade for a couple shooters. When LeBron or stars come in, you change your own.
I think and you got, I think Lowry is on the expiring deal. And
he might have made himself.
You got Hero coming back. No, I think so too. I don't think he's done. I'm just saying, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was on his way out.
Unless he's going to take a bench role, I'm not sure if he comes back to Miami.
You can get Duncan Robinson money off the books. Draymond slides right in.
Hey Ray, but I got a quick question for you, man. I gotta talk about this Popeyes eater, biscuit eater, aka Doc Rivers.
Oh man,
please, we can.
Hey Ray, it's time for him to go, man. I'm tired. I'm all for equality for black coaches, but you can't keep on making excuses.
Hey,
biscuit.
This man eat more strawberry biscuits in a little bit, man.
Doc Rivers and Marvin Lewis outstayed their time and their position. Listen. And I love black people, but Doc Rivers ain't it. You don't got to talk to me about Doc Rivers.
You got to talk to Chris. Let's talk to Chris about it.
Well, you don't got to talk to me about Doc Rivers. I wanted Doc Rivers fired. We lost to Atlanta.
Yeah,
I wanted Doc Rivers fired. We lost to Atlanta. You don't got to ask Kenny. You don't got to talk to me about that.
He been down on Doc for a minute. I'm the one that was trying to defend Doc.
You know, every time I see Doc Rivers, I don't know, like I said, they shot cornbread. You know what I mean? Like, this is ridiculous. How many games he choked up? We're living off this old ring.
But we're not going to just put this all on Doc Rivers. Like it's some other culprits. There's a lot of no shows on this game.
Who
game 7
for his whole career?
But I'm talking about this specific series.
Game 7, no. Game 6,
yeah, I'm not putting this on Doc.
Game 6, Doc had a part to play. Game 7, no. Embiid
So you don't make. There's no coaching decisions you're gonna make to stop Jason Tatum from getting 30.
Oh no. I'm not. I'm saying that he's not the biggest culprit. I'm just saying.
Oh, not for Game 7. No. For Game 7, it's all the players. Is Embiid and Harden.
No, but to Ray's point though. To Ray's point, I agree with you there, Ray. I think he waited too long. Yeah, he waited too long.
To find what to do with. Yeah, he did wait too long. I definitely agree with you.
But Kenny was up 3-2.
Yeah.
At home. That's coaching. Y'all did not come out ready to play Game 6. That's coaching.
But Kenny, you shouldn't be getting out coached by this young coach like this, man.
Yeah, again, like I'm not absolving Doc Rivers at all. I'm just saying that he's to me he's not the biggest culprit in Game 7. Like
in Game 7, he's not. I would agree.
Not for me.
For this series, give me the blame in percentages.
For me, the biggest is James Harden because he did not consistently. He only showed up for half the series. Like the two biggest games, he was a.
That's his career.
But that's not that. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. But
you can't get
mad at him for being who he always has been.
But you can't say that. You can't say that.
Yes, you can.
Because when you pay somebody $30 million to be the engine, to be the wheels to your bus, and they collapse like that, you got a right to be mad.
Hey, but Ray, I think you should get ready for the Blue Coats, the Philly Blue Coats in Delaware. He should be the coach for that team because he can't make no in-game adjustments, man. He should be for the Blue Coats.
I think that's way
Commonwealth University. He should go to college because he can't coach in the game.
There was a bunch of times in these closeout games,
Morgan State, something like that.
Y'all didn't run no plays to get an easy bucket, like nothing. That's coaching.
So I'm with you there. The two biggest things for me is one that he didn't get the ball out of Jason Tatum's hands early enough. That's one mistake.
Exactly.
The other mistake that they made, in my opinion, was that there's no way that when Marcus Smart is guarding Joel Embiid, we're not force feeding Embiid in the post every time until they switch that matchup.
You know,
come on.
Like, those are the two biggest things.
Anthony Davis is in the post being guarded by Gary Payton, throw him the ball.
Yeah, those are the two biggest. Those are the two glaring things.
And so and this is where I think we might part ways. And Kenny, you're a coach, so I'll defer you to a certain extent in this. I believe once I know my players are a certain way, I got to coach to that. I know who James Harden is. I know who Joel Embiid is. I know who Tobias Harris is. They never have proven that they are those guys on that level. So as a coach, I have to do everything I can to put them in a position like all these old white schools be doing when they be playing these all black athletic teams. You got to figure out what y'all do well and do that and play to your players' strengths and put them in position. And I never see him do that for real. He always just let his players figure it out. And that's
we haven't seen this since 08. 08, that's the last time he won it.
So I see your point there. But was he doing it when Harden was scoring 45? Like, is it this the same guy? Like, they were still running the same pick and rolls. So, like, what
happens when that's not working, then what? When Jordan Poole ain't shooting well, sit him down. When DeAndre Ayton ain't playing well, you got to make a change or something.
And he should be traded too, DeAndre Ayton. He's done. He solved his rabbit shit. He solved his rabbit shit.
We got a lot to get to, but I don't think he's going to get traded. I think
he's terrible, man. Right.
Yeah.
He's the softest center.
I don't know.
If you fire your coach and trade him, that was dumb.
Well, I think that's part of. I think there's some changes coming. Besides, I don't think this is the only change. Just the coach. I think you're gonna see some other things happen, and I think DeAndre Ayton is on the top of the list.
And right, we also gotta say KD is not. He's not that, man. We gotta say that too, man.
Rod, definitely talking to
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not ready to say that just yet.
I mean, he's not no superstar. He's not a superstar. We gotta say that.
I'm definitely not saying that.
Yeah, the way I feel about Draymond, I don't feel about Ayton. I think Ayton has to be in a very unique situation.
I said KD's not a superstar. He's a star.
To be successful. Otherwise, I think he's a guy. I do. Draymond ain't a guy, in my opinion.
Hey Kenny, I gotta say this: you give me Kyrie, you give Kyrie, James Harden, to LeBron. What he does with it? You don't think he go to the finals with them two players?
And Booker.
You don't think he go to the finals with them? Kenny, I'm just asking
with the same team
as a coach.
With the same
Knicks team. You don't think LeBron can take that team to the finals?
I don't know.
That's
because
flawed.
I was gonna say they would still be as top heavy as they were. Because
KD couldn't even get them out the first round.
But they got out the first round and got out the second round. But I don't think with that Phoenix team that you have right now, if you switch LeBron and KD on that team, I think the same thing happens. I think LeBron runs out of gas just as much as KD did.
I don't think so.
I
think LeBron. Let me say this.
KD and Booker here, and they did their job for the most part.
Yeah, well, KD wasn't as efficient as he usually is.
No, he's not efficient.
He wasn't as efficient as he usually was in this
That's
series.
true.
He wore it down, but early on, they was going 30, shooting over 50.
They were, but I'm just scared.
Games, but we're starting to see Kevin Durant has had a lot of bad games, some big moments.
A lot of bad games.
But
great.
And to your point, there was a lot of mileage on them tires too.
He did. He looked great when he was in Golden State and didn't have to be the guy all day, every day.
That's where I'm at.
Everywhere else, he's had to be the number 2, like without.
The nigga look great.
It gets tough. It's tough, and he's a jump shooter. He don't get the layups that Bron get. He's efficient, but they still be jump shots. And you weren't in the best shape because you was hurt. You was in a new environment. You didn't really have a point guard getting you the ball in good spots. They didn't really run no offense either. It was iso ball. I'm not surprised that's the outcome. Like,
in the same thing though, Kenny, your Knicks got to break up that team, man. Jalen Bronson was the only dog in that whole series.
Are we there yet?
We kind of got it. We can jump to the Knicks because we still got a lot to get to, and it's almost 10. So we can jump to the Knicks, and who y'all played? The Heat. Yeah, the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get out the way, Kenny. You can give us your soliloquy, and then we can jump in. Rod, you can follow up, but I do want to give Kenny a chance.
My fault, Kenny. I'm sorry.
You good.
I hate messing up your show, man. I'm sorry.
You good, man. You good. Nah, it's just frustrating. You know, as happy as I was in round 1, seeing us get past the Cavs, as I discussed I was in round 2, and it's the same thing. These last couple playoff runs, it's been the same issue in both times. Julius Randle has not shown up. And that's frustrating to us Knicks fans, is that you are, quote unquote, the highest paid player on the team. You're the third team or second team All NBA, Mr. Most Improved, 25-10 this year. And then you was trash. And this is the same Miami Heat team that you had a 50-piece on during the regular season. So it makes even less sense. So I'm just disgusted with Julius Randle, and I'm tired of he's got to really work on developing a second phase to his game, or a second part of his skill set, because that bullying your way to the basket and just putting your head down and going 100 miles an hour to the basket ain't working. Like, you got to be able to change speeds. You got to be able to use, you got to be able to use different, feints and counters and things of that nature to kind of diversify your game. Because all it is right now, it's just one fast move and you bullying your way to the basket. You're going 100 miles an hour. And everybody knows that no matter what you do, at the end of the day, you're coming back to your left hand. So it's just easy to guard, at some point. And Miami just figured out a way to really just limit him in terms of whenever he put it on the deck after 1 or 2 dribbles, they was coming with the trap. And 9 times out of 10, he was getting out of control and just making bad decisions. And I just think his decision-making on the move is what hurts us more than anything else. But having said all of that, while as disgusted as I am with Julius Randle, it's as much as I got to salute Jalen Brunson. because that dude showed up in a big way. Like if he didn't show up the way he did in Game 6, we had no business being as competitive as we were in that game. He literally tried to drag us into Game 7, and he had no help. R.J. Barrett, no show. Julius Randle, no show. So it was just that, the three highest paid players, only one of them showed up. So that's the frustrating thing as a Knicks fan. And I think we're going to have to really take a hard look at this roster because while you saw RJ Barrett kind of make some strides, he started out slow, but then he started coming on as the playoffs went on. But then he took a step back. Julius Randle, the last couple of playoff series, he's been bad. And these losing playoff series, he's been terrible. Anytime we lost in a playoff series, he was the worst player. So we're going to have to really take a look at this roster and see if this is the team that we're going to build going forward, because the only thing that we know right now is that Jalen Brunson is the only piece that is a piece that you could build with going forward. So Leon Rose, Will Ryan West, Scott Perry, you're going to have to make some decisions, because I don't know if Julius Randle is the guy that you want to build this team with moving forward.
Rod, go ahead.
I just say this, man. I just reminisce. I gotta go with some Pete Rock right now. I just reminisce. I just really feel like Julius Randle, he is what he is. But Jalen Brunson was the knight in the shining armor, and he balled the whole time. You know, the Villanova guards, they're gonna give it to you the best they can give you, but they need to get rid of Randle's contract. This is what I would love to see. Damian Lillard and Bronson together. I think that could be.
I'm not sure.
I think that'd be great. I think that could be great.
That's a small backcourt, and they both.
I know it's a small backcourt.
They both need the ball. They both had the ball in their hands.
Jalen
I'm just not sure.
Being the dominant ball handler, Damian Lillard will mess that up.
Although I think Dame can play off the ball.
I think Dame could play off ball.
I just don't like that small.
Have we seen Dame have team success playing off the ball?
Well, to be fair, how much team success has he been able to have in Portland?
None.
He can play on and off the ball. I don't even know.
They had success when he was on ball. They had.
No, I'm just saying, you could only do so much with that talent.
But they got to break that team apart, man. Man, Julius Randle is.
I don't know necessarily to break the team apart, but I think you definitely got to look at. You got to look at really seriously moving Julius Randle in the offseason.
Kenny, who would you say outside of Brunson, is anyone untouchable?
No, nobody's untouchable. No. He's the only one that's untouchable, in my opinion. So, like Obi Toppin, he could go. RJ could go.
RJ Barrett,
in the right package. Obi Toppin, Randle.
Quickly did show up.
Even Quickly, like I like Quickly, but in the right package, if it's bringing back the right amount of talent, all of those guys could go. Only one to me and untouchable is Jalen Brunson. Everybody else in the right package, they could go.
My next question is, do they have the right coach for that team?
I don't think so either.
I think that Tibbs is the right coach if he brings in a quote unquote offensive coordinator. To me, their offense.
I don't think he's ever going to do that, Kenny.
I would say that doesn't really fit the MO.
Yeah. Well, maybe, but if you think about it, if this is really where he wants to be, and this is he's a New York guy, and this is the team that he wants to coach. If they mandated to him that he needed to bring an offensive coach in, I think that he would. I don't think that he would step down if that was the.
Kenny, who would you like for them to bring in if you had to
as an offensive coach?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. I don't have to think about that, but I'm sure it's a bunch of assistant coaches out there that have an offensive pedigree that you could bring in. But I just think that Tibbs and he's always been a defensive coach. I just think that offensively, there's just not a lot of ball movement. It's just a lot of stagnation. The ball sticks. It's a lot of Jalen Brunson trying to make plays off the dribble, or Julius Randle trying to make plays off the dribble. I still don't think the ball moves side to side. It's not enough ball movement and body movement for me.
Okay. Dev, I ain't heard from you in a little bit. Thoughts on the Knicks in Miami and what the Knicks should do going forward?
Julius Randle is just trash, like Kenny said. I had faith in this guy, man, and for you to go.
How bad is it, Dev? Tell him how bad it is.
How long he been with the Knicks? This is like his third season with the Knicks.
Yeah,
Third season.
Third
season, and you still can't go right. It's like how is it effective? How is it hard for you to go right and just finish right? It's like that would mess up everybody's strategy against Julius Randle if he will go right. But he just don't want to go right, so I say get rid of him. You know what I mean? I think you need to find a decent a big man that can play with Jalen Brunson. I don't think Julius Randle can play with Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson is really just shown that this is his team now. This is no longer Julius Randle's team.
Without question.
And they need to find somebody to pair up with Brunson. And RJ Barrett is also another guy that has to go, in my opinion. He has not stepped up. He in my opinion, he has not taken that next step of him even being the third best player on the team. That's just my opinion.
So, real quick, Dan, because y'all have all mentioned something, and I'm just curious specifically for you. We talked about Julius Randle not developing the left.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about RJ Barrett and his quote unquote lack of development offensively. I think is what most of us are talking about.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think he's gotten a little better than
no offensive
than
the head coach that's defensive minded. Should we expect these jumps offensively from a coach that ain't never really did that?
I'm not saying you have to jump, but you do got the off season to work on this stuff.
But that stuff, when you're talking about skill set and things, that's play development. That's getting in the gym and working on your craft. So, with Julius Randle,
I believe they be. I see.
No. I'm not saying that they don't. But to me, as much work as you're putting in, you're still seeing them doing the same things year in and year out. So, what are you really adding to your bag? Especially like Julius Randle. What has he since he's been in the league? Think about it. Julius Randle been in the league like 7 to 8 years, probably.
Yeah, he's extended his range. He was an all-star.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
No, I'm not saying he didn't get better. Just for him to be committed as an all-star now, to be saying that he's a true star, I think he has to take one more level
exactly
to consider him as a star instead of him just a role player kind of. I think Julius Randle is a good role player.
Whoa, wow. So this is what I'm trying to get to. And I don't know why I'm on this tip tonight, but pause. That's coaching in me. I don't think if I saw what Phil Jackson did with Lamar Odom.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen how Steve Kerr has used Draymond Green. I have seen coaches use players with unique skill sets or deficiencies and put them in positions to be successful, or sit them down until you use the stuff we practicing. It's hard for me to believe they're in practice and Julius Randle ain't practicing going right. I would like to believe
go right. Just come back to his left hand.
So I've been in practices where when that happens, they stop the practice and you run or you shoot or something. And I know these are professionals and adults making a lot of money, but if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be coaching them.
I'm with you.
Somebody has to be pulling him aside, showing him the tape, saying, you can't do this. And if you keep doing it, I'm going to hold you accountable. There's no accountability, so you just keep doing it.
I think
I think it's time for Tibbs to leave New York too. I think it's time has ran its course in New York, in my opinion. I think him being the head coach.
Well, only thing I'll say, only way I would agree with you there, Dev, is if they did, if he fought against bringing in an offensive coach or offensive assistant to add to the staff. If he fought against that, then I'm with you. Then he got to go.
There's offensive coach that just got fired.
You got Nick Nurse. You got
the
Bucks head coach, the Bucks former head coach.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming in as an assistant though. He's going to be a head coach somewhere.
That's
what we saying. I think Tibbs.
Oh, okay. I
think Tibbs should go, and
a lot of people trying to get Ty Lue.
Mark Jackson. You see the Bucks going after Mark Jackson.
Yeah, I definitely would be open to Ty Lue. I love Ty Lue as a coach.
I think there are options available. So we'll see on the Knicks. Talking about last series we're talking about the Suns. We didn't really talk about the Nuggets at all, but they dominated. So let's keep it moving to it's top of the hour. We can get to it. Ja Morant. We're back at it again. Chris, I ain't heard from you in a minute, so I'll let you kind of lead us into this topic. I got a lot of thoughts. I don't really know where I want to go with it because ultimately it's sad to me, but I got a bunch of other emotions too. But Chris, your thoughts on Ja Morant and the future of the Memphis Grizzlies?
It's I had to sit back and I had to look at the past. I had to look at Allen Iverson and what Allen Iverson went through early in his career. And Ja Morant needs a wake up call because this is just not it. Like you said, this is the second time in the past 2 months. The first time, some say he got a slap on the wrist. Some say 8 games was nothing. I see a lot of people now saying he should be suspended for the whole season, or at least 35 to 41 games. I watched the video again, and it kind of looked like the person with him, tried to take the phone away from Ja Morant. Here's the issue. Ja Morant, why are you flashing guns on social media? That's common sense. Why are you flashing guns on social media? What do you have to prove? Like you have millions. What are you trying to look cool for? Everybody wants to talk about this role model stuff, and I remember what I said in the group chat. I don't understand. All they do is dribble basketball. Why don't you look at somebody, that's a lawyer, that's a doctor? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't look at what these basketball players do in their personal lives. If you want to be a basketball player, just look how they play on the court. However, Ja Morant, this is a problem. Like I said, 8 games. Some people consider the slap on the wrist. Adam Silver, I know, is going to get a lot of pressure. Ja Morant's going to get suspended minimum, in my mind, 30 games. And he's probably going to catch a couple $1 million fine. I think the league is going to throw a lot at him. I think Memphis is in a tough situation because if this is anybody else, if this is a Jaren Jackson, if this is a Tyus Jones, if this is anybody else, they're getting cut immediately kicked off the team. But because Ja Morant is top 5 at his position, somehow wasn't all NBA, but because he's just this prominent guy, people think he's going to get a slap on the wrist, or he's not going to get severe consequences. I think this time it's bad for Ja. I think he's going to get suspended a lot. He's going to get fined a lot, and he deserves it. I understand he's young, but you can't, what they say, fool me one time, shame on you, fool me, however it goes. Just know, twice is your fault, Ja. It's your fault. You keep putting yourself in these situations. Your friends keep allowing you to put yourself in these situations. Somebody needs to take a hard look in the mirror and need to help this young man before he honestly gets himself kicked out the league.
Well said. Kenny, I'll go to you.
Yeah, I agree with Chris totally. But I'm gonna add a little different angle to it. I'm looking at Ja's friend, like whatever the guy Devontae or whatever the guy's name is. Like, bro, you gotta cut him off. Like, it's time for him. Like, you gotta remove him from your camp. I'll tell a quick story. So,
John needs to remove Devontae from his circle.
Yeah, like, you gotta go because you messing up the bag. Like, first, during the season, this guy is coming on the court during games and they banning him from the stadium. And then they were talking about a situation where he's pointing guns at the Indiana Pacers bus or something like that. And then you're going on IG Live and your man got a gun in the car and you're going on IG Live to show people that. Like, you're not the guy. You bad for business. You bad for the brand. So you got to go. So quick story, when Kai first got in the league, he had a couple of guys from high school, from his St. Pat's days that went out there to live with him when he was in Cleveland. And it was kind of out there, just out there living off his dime and this, that, and the third. And his pops went out there and told all, like, yo, it's time for y'all to go. So I think T. Morant going to have to go to his son and be like, yo, listen, it's time to clean house. Anybody that's not helping you be the best person that you could be, that's putting you in a negative light and is not holding you accountable, they got to go. Because to me, like, the fact that this is a repeat offense of the exact same thing that got you suspended, and you thought it was cool to go back on camera, and your man thought it was cool to put you on camera doing that. Like, it's just bad all around. So I just think he's going to have to change his environment. He got to change his circle and the guys he's moving with, because they're not helping him. They hurt.
Yeah.
What's the famous quote Denny Green said against the Chicago Bears? You are who we thought you were. That statement, that speech that he put in front of the people, that press conference, oh, I'm going to do better, and oh, I'm going to do this, and all that. I sat there and looked at my wife. Can't say the word that I called him, but I said, he is lying. I said, his body, his face expression is just showing that, like, I'm just reading this so I can keep my stuff. You know what I mean? My pops or my people is making me do this. And I was like, he's going to end up right back to what he's doing. And I hate to say that, but you can just tell. You can just tell a person. He's showing you who he wants to be. Because I don't think that's who he is. I think this is who he wants to be. He wants this bad boy reputation, and I don't know. He's an idiot. He's becoming an idiot, and it's crazy that one tweet can take away your sponsorship, but this guy has did the same thing twice, and Nike still have not came out and said anything. Powerade have not came out and said anything. It's like it's just crazy. It is just crazy. And Memphis, I think you did the wrong thing by cutting the wrong player. Yeah, I'm not saying that you should cut Ja Morant, but you cutting Dylan Brooks just because. I think you need to now. I think this is karma. This is most definitely karma coming back full force. You got rid of the wrong man. Dylan Brooks, yes, we didn't like his attitude. His offensive plays did stink. But when it's time for him to show up on that defensive end, my guy showed up. When it was time for him to not back down from Draymond Green or any person that came across that Memphis line, he didn't back down. But you want to sit here and just suspend a guy and just say, hey, you can't come to the team facilities because you got guns. It's like, come on, Doug. I think he should be suspended for a whole year. You know what I mean? I really do think. If you really want to hit somebody, because he already spit in your face and slapped you in the face and said, that little slap of the wrist is nothing. I can do those 8 games. I don't have to go to counseling. I don't have to do nothing that y'all really want me to do. So if I don't have to do it, then I'm not going to do it. And I think the NBA should say, well, since you can't abide by something that we are asking you to do, we're not forcing you or nothing. We had asked you, can you keep your act together? Can you do this? Can you not do that? And you blatantly came right back. I don't care if your man knew he had the gun in the car or not. Number one, you should have learned to stay off of IG Live in the beginning. You know what I mean? Number two, why are you still riding around with it? Like, who are you so scared of? I honestly thought that Sean Kemp's story would have more juice than this. I would have thought Sean Kemp's story would have a gun would have popped up or anything in this nature, but I think he should be suspended for a whole year, man. And you have to show this guy's like, if you really being in the NBA is a privilege. It's a lot of guys that work hard every day to try to make it to the NBA and just can't make it all because of one person like a Ja Morant that's holding up a spot. Like you shouldn't hold this dream for granted. And I think that's what he's doing. And suspend him for a whole year.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot. I don't agree with that part, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't agree with a lot of stuff y'all said. No, it's kind of surprising to me. My 2 cents. Ja Morant is a grown man. I said this last time. I disagree with you, Kenny, on the friends point. I think you keep these friends around because these are the turn-up friends. And I don't know how you operate, but when I grew up, when I was young, I had my smart friends, I had my fun friends, I had the ladies, I had whatever. Like, I segmented my life so I knew I could move in and out of different environments. I don't think this is an issue of the guy. and you mentioned his name, and I hadn't heard it, so I didn't commit it to memory. But by all accounts, when he realized Ja Morant had flashed that gun, he turned the camera. It wasn't like, oh, look at my boy Ja getting lit. Like it was like, oh, like he had fake gun fingers going. I think we was in the fake gun finger.
Help me, help you.
He did try to get the camera off him.
But
still there's no difference.
So this is how I view this. And I got kids now, so everything's through like this weird fatherly lens. Ja Morant got suspended. Ja Morant had Steven Adams try and meet with him, didn't want to hear from him. Ja Morant watched T Morant get into it. I don't know T Morant, but it's hard for me to believe he ain't said nothing to him. R. Kelly was R. Kelly. It didn't matter who said something to R. Kelly. R. Kelly was going to be R. Kelly. Ja Morant, for whatever reason, believes he has to be this person. I don't know where that comes from. And when he went away, initially I blew it off as this is just PR stuff. But he said, I need to go learn how to figure out how to deal with stress. Ja Morant is currently in a very stressful situation. He's the face of potentially the NBA. We talked about that a couple months back as an American-born player. He's the face of Memphis. He's the face of his family. He's the it guy. I got the new signature shoe. I got all this stuff going on. It is a lot. And I don't know if he has people to listen to. Do I think that group of gentlemen in the car are the people that should be guiding him? No. I think we can agree that they are not in that role in his life. But I do also understand the stresses of being a young man and having some friends that can help ease that stress. I think that's healthy. I look at Ja Morant in the car, and if y'all can correct me, I was trying to figure it out. It looked like he's the driver in this video. Is the guy? So the guy on.
Oh, you talking about the guy? The Ja.
Ja. So I didn't look like the guy on IG Live because he had both fingers.
Yeah, I would say Ja was the driver in my opinion.
So that was my.
Maybe I got to look at it again.
So Ja's the driver here
because the guy's holding the phone and he's doing a little feint. You know,
his hands are full, or he's driving with his knee, maybe.
Or he had a complete stop.
But no, the background was moving.
Okay.
It looked like it was moving to me. So what I look at is I see a young man putting a gun to his head almost while driving. Take the friends out, take the dad out. Gun safety at its minimum is not existent here.
Mm-hmm.
You did the same thing in the strip club. You had the gun up here. You keep putting guns near your head, bro. Like, I just think there's a lot of other stuff going on here. And I don't know how to fix or help Ja Morant. But I do think at this point, he needs help. And I don't know where that comes from. I'm not with suspending him for the year because then we start talking about context. Flashing a gun loses you a year. If that becomes the standard, he ain't break no laws.
No, I'm not saying just flashing the gun. I'm just saying that it's like a
Damien that to him, ban him. Do you know?
I don't know about a year, but it's got to be significant. So it's got to be something significant, though, right? You don't agree with that? Maybe not a year, but do you believe that there should be a significant suspension?
So then, where do we start? If we go Malice in the Palace, Artest got 73 games. Jermaine O'Neal got somewhere in the 50s or 60s. It was fighting fans.
So what did Gilbert Arenas get for?
Gilbert got damn near a year, at least 50 plus games.
Here's the difference. Gilbert brought guns into an NBA locker room.
Yeah.
And left a message that said, pick one. And he brought multiple guns. That's a little different to me versus somebody
just suspension.
Their home in their car on their social media. Again, it's a terrible look, but he didn't break no laws. I think the gun safety is my bigger concern. He works for an employer that says you can't do this. I agree with y'all. You escalate the suspension maybe 20 games. You went from 8 to 20. But you get real NFL-ish when you start hammering people for some of this other stuff, and y'all let some bull stuff slide. So that's where these long, lengthy suspensions are hard for me to swallow. Because
I say 20-21 games, quarter of the season.
I can live with that. I think that's
at least a quarter of the season.
Half a year, you changing franchise trajectories. You doing a lot at half a year for this.
No,
If the gun
25.
goes, if the gun was off, if any of that, maybe. But I also believe, to your point, what's if you don't get it now, what's next?
That's why it's got to be something significant. You can't. You got to do something to get his attention.
And that's where I kind of give in something to y'all, because this is crazy. You can't.
Because you can't. Yeah, you're not gonna stop repeated behavior without any serious consequences. Like he has to be able to see the consequences of his actions in order for him to change his behavior.
Yeah.
And for this, Damian, I don't do alleged allegations. If he filed a police report, if he went to trial and he was found guilty, you got me. I'm not joking with this. The beam, I'm gonna give you the beam, because he had a lot of gun issues too. And this was one. By all accounts, he did fight the kid. So a pattern of behavior that is troubling, to say the least. I don't like the Allen Iverson comparison either. Situation's very, very different. From an upbringing standpoint, situations are different from John Morant, I think, and I'm not a Stephen A. Smith fan, but to Stephen A. Smith's point was, you doing it to yourself.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it ain't like you out in club, like AI put his wife out or whatever. Like, they had the mess, like different stuff. I get all that.
Oh, yeah. No.
This isn't that.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the high school thing with the bowling alley.
And that ain't AI either. Not for real, for the people that know the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't like that comparison. I think because
when I mentioned AI, it was the point of their impact right now, and like how their star status and the role model status. It had nothing to do with like the situations.
That's
it was the star status.
Because he's very he's
definitely. You said that, Chris. I wasn't shooting at you. I've heard other people on the internet make that.
Yeah.
But thank you for clarifying that, because that's actually a really good point for what it's worth. The role model piece. I think Dev, you mentioned this. That died. This I am not a role model. Social media.
That was Chris. I ain't saying nothing about the role model.
I'm talking about the idea, the perception that I'm an actor, not a role model. When you got a signature shoe, you are a role model. When you hold up advertising for Powerade, you are a role model. If your projection is, I want to take care of my family, I want to become a billionaire and give back. I remember, and this doesn't ever get highlighted in these situations, I remember him at I think it was a Waffle House or something, and he tipped somebody a lot.
I think it was like $500 or
something like that. She didn't even know who he was at first.
Yeah.
So he has that in him. He bought all his family houses. They live in like the same little cul-de-sac. So he is capable of doing great things. Draymond Green, I was listening to somebody else that said Stephen A. was on Draymond Green's podcast, and he said, Draymond said John Morant is one of the most brilliant young players in this league.
Yeah, said a great mind. Yeah.
He's smart. He's intelligent. He's capable. So all these other factors, this is a job issue. And you are a role model. Sorry. You chose this life. Yeah, back in the day, Charles Barkley could get away with that. Everything you do is available to be seen. They're probably inviting you into schools. You're building basketball courts. You're giving back to your community. You are a role model. In today's world, if you are an athlete of that ilk, you're a role model. I'm sorry. Signature shoes are being targeted at children. That makes you a role model to me. So I ain't with that. I ain't a role model stuff that people be saying about athletes today. That it just don't exist. You don't want to be it. If you post on social media and you got millions of followers, what do you think is going to happen?
There's literally people out here getting paid to be influencers. So you're not going to, that's literally a job nowadays. So there's no way that whole role model thing that you can't get away from that.
So that's just kind of where I'm at with him. I don't know who he respects enough I didn't want to blame his dad the first time. I'm not gonna blame his dad now.
No, he's a grown man.
Nah, it's not. Yeah, I would say it's not like he a minor ain't doing it.
He knows better.
But I think his dad though him and his dad gotta have like a real man-to-man conversation. I'm sure his dad is digging in him right now, like, bro, we better get it together. Like,
So
he may not be, he grown, but I'm sure him and his dad having a real man-to-man conversation where he digging in him. I'll bet you that.
So Kenny and Dev, I don't, and Chris, actually I'll get everybody's opinion. Those of y'all who have kids and those who don't. If you are T. Morant, are you at games next year?
Yeah, I'm still gonna support my kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Right or wrong. You know what I mean? I'm just,
the wrong message.
What wrong message would it be sent?
Bro, I'm not gonna keep coming to these games supporting you, and you keep out here acting like an idiot.
Well, that assuming that he's gonna change his ways. But I'm with you to your point. Like, if he's still doing what he's doing, like, yeah, I don't know if I'm coming to watch you. I don't know if I'm coming to games if you're gonna keep on doing what you're doing.
Like, I think that's something
that's fair.
May matter to John Morant. Is the reason I say that. Like, that might be a wake-up call. Like, I look and my dad ain't here, and the reason
I don't know. I think T likes the attention, and he likes to have his foot on the hardwood. So I think he likes to be there just as much as Ja. I think it's a two-way street on that one.
I agree with you. And again, like I said, I'm in this parent role, but I feel like if I want to keep coming to the games 10, 15 years from now, maybe I got to take a season off because me being here ain't helping. And I just don't know what to do for the young man. And I hope he get it together. I hope he take it serious. I'm sure the public, stay off social media for a while, but you got to take it serious.
Get a public relations team. Like, you got to really do it. Yeah, you got to. Like, you really got.
They already lined up. They sent them emails.
I know they are hitting them heavy. They like cha-ching. But yeah, he's gonna have to really do some serious soul searching. He's gonna have to change his team up, change his circle, whatever the case, whatever he's gonna have to do, because he's gonna have some time. He's certainly gonna have some time to think about it and really, do some things, because I can guarantee you that, everybody, the reports are already out there that he's got a suspension coming.
Quick question: if he doesn't change, and the third time happens, what are we saying?
He gotta go.
Then it's got to be a year. Like, if we're saying that minimum is 25 games for this one, 25, 30 games, whatever, 20, 30 games, somewhere anywhere. The next one's got to be for a year at minimum.
Do Memphis need to get rid of him?
I don't know if they have. I don't know what the grounds are for them to be able to. You mean like get rid of them in terms of trade, or get rid of them in terms of cut?
I think they can get out the deal though.
Like cut, like saying, like, look, this time we got to part ways. This is not working.
I don't know. I would have to. I don't know the if they would have the grounds to be able to do. I don't. Would that be in violation of his contract? Is it like, I don't know. Like, because right now all they did was suspend him from team activities. So,
you know what I think happens, Dev? To your point. I think this becomes Deshaun Watson. I think they know a lot of stuff in Memphis. A lot of stuff we don't know.
Oh, for sure.
And I think if they decide we over it, I think everybody gonna know what they know. And I think at that point, they can get out that deal pretty easily. The problem is somebody gonna give them some more money. And now you gotta live with that. So I would want to trade him, maybe somebody like Trae Young. But I think there's a lot of people that would want. I don't know if I want DC. We got a lot of I think there's a lot of teams.
You got no problem. Oh my gosh, no John DC.
Like, I don't know where he fits, to be honest. I don't know if I want him with a bunch of young teams, so I don't know if I want him in Orlando or Houston.
He needs an Andre Iguodala. He needs somebody. He needs a Haslam.
No, Jordan Poole didn't do much with Andre Iguodala, so I don't know if that's that.
And Memphis didn't want Andre Iguodala once he said he didn't want to continue down there.
It's crazy because my mom, she's a I don't want to say casual fan, but she's a casual fan when it comes to the regular NBA. And her first thing she said is, "Where the veterans at?" Because if it was a vet on that team, I don't think this would have happened again. I think after that first incident, somebody would have had to real talk to him. And I don't know if that happened.
But if you're the guy though, like how much can you say? Like it'd be different if it was, say for example, if he was a lesser like a Tyus Jones. I'm sure somebody could have got, if it was him doing it, somebody could get at him and try to, get him in line. But Ja is the face of he's the guy on the team. So like who's going to ultimately hold him accountable?
I mean, you could say, do you want to throw away your career because that's the trajectory you're going into? You said you're not scared of nobody in the West, and you got bounced out in the first round by a playing team, and you didn't perform when you needed to perform. You had one, maybe two good games. That last good game was nowhere to be found. You talked all this junk. You're going to be known as this season as the guy that flashed the gun and didn't make All NBA and talked all this noise. And then what you do? All season comes in. We don't even see no workout vids. The first video we see you is flashing a gun. You need to get your priorities straight. You need to get something straight. And I'm a huge Ja Morant guy. It's just not a good look right now. It is not a good look on him. It's not a good look on his team. It's just not a good look at all on the league. And he's going to be talked about a lot until that decision comes around on his consequences. And I feel bad for him. I don't know. That's I don't know. That's a good question. I hope not. I hope Ja Morant gets it together because it's too early in his career for him to be called another AB. That's crazy.
Please.
AB's tricky. And obviously, I know I'm a little partial. AB, I would love to do a 30 for 30 on that guy because he, from his upbringing to popping off, like that's something. Ja Morant. That's interesting. I can see the correlation. I just don't know if Ja's accomplished enough to even be compared. AB, by all accounts, would have been a Hall of Famer, no doubt. I don't know if I feel that way about Ja Morant right now, but
AB will at least a top wide receiver, at least.
Yeah, he just hasn't been long enough.
Yeah, it's just time. That's all I'm saying. Ja Morant has definitely hit some highs.
Yeah, he's putting up the numbers, just not long enough.
But that's fair. We'll track that for sure. Let's get to it, coaches. Tough day for some really good coaches out there. I like Monty Williams. I'm not the biggest Budenholzer fan, but I think it's solid. Like they both figure out a way to win in the regular season. Budenholzer got himself a ring. The Suns got to the finals. Mark Jackson's name finally is being brought up. Ty Lue's name is being brought up. Doc Rivers, I saw a report that said he had to win or he'd be out. By all accounts, he's still there. So, who's the best coach available, and what do you guys think is the best situation? Chris, I'll start with you.
I might go with Monty. And huge shout out to Bud. I mean, he is a championship winning coach. I think Monty might be the guy for me that's still left. Where does he go? That's a good question. I'm not too sure. I got to see who else is going to get rid of their coaches. There's a lot of teams that right now in the league that I like that could use a good coach. I'm not too sure where these guys are going to go. I've been hearing reports that, Doc is going to go. But if Doc goes, I want Sam Cassell. Me personally, it's time for Sam Cassell to get a job. As much as I like all these head coaches that just got fired and is about to get a job, I need Sam Cassell to get a head coaching job. If the Sixers give it a Doc, if Sam Cassell isn't the first ring to take this job, Sam Cassell needs to go somewhere else and get a head coaching job because he deserves
it. I like that. I do like that. Sam, I am. Dev, what'd you think?
I'm gonna go with Budenholzer. I think he's proved that he can take a low market team, develop them right, and win a championship. So I think he's the best available. Where I see him at, I say Toronto. I think Toronto got some good key pieces up there. They do need to make some moves between OG and what's the guy that was on? No, not Siakam. You got to keep him. You keep Van Vliet and Siakam. What was the other guy? They would say it was untouchable.
Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes. I think OG and Scotty Barnes. I think you trade those guys. Why their trade value was still high, but I think you keep Van Vliet and Siakam. I think that would be your duo pieces in my opinion that you can start over with. And I think Budenholzer can do that like he did with Giannis, and eventually he had Drew Holiday, developed Chris Middleton. So I think the Raptors will be a good job for him.
Okay, Kenny.
Actually, I'm gonna go. Actually, mention Toronto. I think I'm gonna go with Nick Nurse. I think out of the coaches that are available, I think that he maxed out in terms of the potential of that team, winning that championship, requiring those guys. And I think another thing is I think he kind of reminds me a little bit of Spoelstra in terms of developing some kind of unheralded guys. You talked about Van Vliet. He was undrafted. Siakam, he kind of came, he developed. OG, another guy that developed. Norman Powell was another guy. A lot of those mid to late round picks that kind of developed and got better over their time there. So I think I'm going to go with Nick Nurse as the guy that's the best of the bunch.
Where do you think he's going to end up at?
I could see him in Milwaukee. I think that, the whole offensive creativity, I think that he may be a guy that can bring some offensive creativity to that team that they may be missing. So I can see him there. I don't see him in one of those rebuild situations or young situations. I can see him in Phoenix as well. That's another one because I saw something where Katie was speaking really highly of him. So those are two situations I could see him in terms of Nick Nurse.
And that's Kenny. You led right to where I was going to go. I think he's the best option, and I think Phoenix is the best fit for him. To your point, there's a lot of guys in Phoenix that could use a bump. I do think Phoenix got to figure something out with Paul and Ayton. I don't know what you figure out, but they got to figure
Paul
out.
Got to go.
At least one of them got to go. I just don't think Ayton's going to go. By all accounts, he met with James Jones after the season and said, hey, I want to figure out how to be better. And then Monty Williams got fired. So that leads me to believe he ain't going nowhere. So that leaves you with 4 max players, no bench, and Chris Paul as one of those maxes. I said it before, Jay killed me. I liked the campaign. I thought he was cool. Is he Chris Paul? No, but I liked him.
Solid.
For them, they don't need a lot. You got KD and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
You don't need a whole lot. I think Jay Crowder would have been a great help, but I don't know what he has left because they couldn't figure out what to do with him in Milwaukee either.
That's baffling to me, that whole situation, the way that went down in Phoenix.
So he wanted more money, by all accounts, in Phoenix. They didn't want to give it to him. They sent him to Milwaukee, but it ain't like he hit it out the park there. And ultimately, allegedly, that was one of the reasons Budenholzer got fired because they couldn't figure out how to use him. He said, I don't even know my purpose here. So that's not good. But I like Nurse, and I like Nurse in Phoenix. I think that's a great opportunity. I'm not as high on them as I am on Golden State because I think Golden State has a treasure trove of pieces. I think you can get something for everybody on that roster, outside of obviously Iggy. I think Kevon Looney's value. Kuminga's going to be interesting, but I think he needs to stay put. I think he'll develop.
I think if you get rid of Green, you have to keep Kuminga.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that's – I think it's kind of like a similar situation. Well, not similar, but kind of similar. Remember when
Steve Nash shouldn't got a job in the beginning.
No. Remember when Golden State had David Lee and Draymond, and then I think one of the first things that Kerr did was move Draymond into that starting lineup, and then he took off.
David Lee.
So it's kind of and David Lee was
Taking
kind of in
shots too.
Draymond's way. Do you think that could be a potential situation where you move Kuminga? It's Kuminga or Draymond Green is in Kuminga's way. We're gonna have to see the best version of him.
I think that's more the case with Poole and Clay versus Draymond and Kuminga. Kuminga isn't developed enough to take the Draymond role. Clay's inability to do defense to me makes him as expendable as Jordan Poole because they both can get super hot or super cold, and Jordan Poole's a lot younger. Draymond, I said it earlier, I think he still got a lot of value. Like, I don't like the way he getting officials' faces. I think he should get a lot more text, and I wish he would chill out on that. But I just think he's valuable. I think Steph really likes having him around. I think a lot of the team and players in the city like having him around. And I think you need that guy. I think you hate that guy when he's on another team. Typically, if you're a professional and handle your business, you like him on your team. And I said it and I'll say it again. I have not heard a bunch of people coming out to defend Jordan Poole's behavior as if what Draymond or what other stuff has been going on was they were wrong and Jordan was right. I think they keeping their mouth shut because they don't want to lose his confidence or alienate him. But I don't think in that organization they feel like Draymond was wrong. I think they feel like they needed that. And Jordan Poole is kind of like some of the other people we've talked about today. What you going to be with your career? Like, do you want to hang out and win for a long time, or do you want to be hot for a moment? And $100 million is a lot of money, but you can get 2 or more of them deals if you play your cards right at much higher amounts. But you gotta play your cards right. So for me, I think based on what I saw, and it's hard. I saw Wiggins 2 years ago, and I saw Wiggins this year, and we never heard what happened. I think I'm more inclined to trade Wiggins over Draymond, to be honest. I think there's more value there, and there's a bunch of people in Toronto that can fill Andrew Wiggins' role. There's one guy in LA on the Clippers that can fill that role. Like, I think there's options that Wiggins and Clay can go. I keep Draymond in the young core.
Now, Kenny, to your point about the Kuminga, and I think Ray kind of touched on it. I don't think Kuminga is developed yet in his play style to really take that to that next leap.
Well, I think
especially not facilitating the offense.
No. Not at all.
Be exactly like Draymond.
You changed
but as far as his whole game, I saw that. That was hilarious. But as far as his game in general, not to be the next Draymond, but as far as his play style, I don't know if he developed how he's going to be. Now, I think once he takes that next that leap, I think then you're looking at, okay, do we really need Draymond because Kuminga's ready to go? And I think once he's in that ready to go stage, then you're going to have to get off of Draymond and give not Kuminga the keys to the team, but the keys for him to run and be himself, because he's a guy that can be real versatile. So I see what you're saying. I just don't know if he's at that point like how Draymond was.
He
was ready to go.
Young, so,
he's still young.
I think because the Draymond, I think, has another. Him and Clay all. I think they
but
all.
He got to play option, so he could be out after this year.
I don't
know if he,
if he does.
I can't wait to announce it on this podcast. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
Yeah,
you're right about that.
I think there's money out there, and I've been real high on Draymond, but I don't know if I'll opt out. I don't know if there's that much money out there. I think he's 28 this year. I think his
Draymond like 33, 32.
That much.
You talking about his age?
No, his money.
Okay.
If he opts out, how much he signed basically $100 million. Next year he's scheduled to make 27.5. I don't know if he's getting 27.5.
Hey, shucks. Chris Paul just got what at 37?
Suns, and that was a bad deal.
LeBron got a late contract. You don't think Draymond gonna get a 3? He can get at least a 3 or 4 year deal. I'm just saying, like,
yes,
he's 33.
The all-time greats did get good deals at the end of their contract. I don't think Draymond is that. I think he's a very valuable role player that I don't know if I want to pay him almost $30 million. Like,
I ain't saying 30. I'm just saying that he
that's
gonna
more
get
than
3 or
Brunson at
4.
that point, right?
Yeah, because Brunson got 100 for 4.
So yeah,
You don't think he gets that? Some team don't give him 100 for 4.
nah, I wouldn't give him for 4. You see how much gray he got in that beard?
I'm just
Heck no.
saying.
I
You
would
said
do like
all of the value. You said he brings a lot of value to a team.
I would do a 2-1 at like $20 million a year.
Okay, so
I think that's reasonable.
3 years. Let's just say 3 years, 60 million,
something like that.
60, 65.
60. I'm in that range for Draymond. Ain't going no much
He
more.
ain't well. You sound good, but he ain't going. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm going for 27, I'm not opting out.
That's what I'm
get
saying.
no 20.
I think if he opts out, he might find deals like I'm talking, and your role might be different. Like there's a lot to risk leaving.
This is his last bag, so he ain't shortchanging himself. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you want to cash in on the way out. So, and I think that might be the issue with Clay. Clay needs to take a pay cut, and if Clay don't want to take a pay cut, Clay probably going to go, in my opinion. So, I just think this sets up to be a fantastic offseason. There's Damian Lillard, something got to happen with him. Kyrie Irving, something got to happen with him. Like, and amongst all the Clippers, they probably got to blow it up. The Raptors probably blowing it up. Like, it's going to be some players. Kyle Kuzma should be out there available. Austin Reeves won his money. That's what we're about to get to. Then, how much are you paying Austin Reeves next year?
Oof, man, we're going to pay that guy. Yeah, we're going to pay him.
You maxing Austin?
That's tough. I don't think we're going to max him. He didn't make no all NBA teams this year.
He taking less than Tyler Hero?
Yeah, because Tyler Hero been to a finals. Austin Reeves hasn't been to a finals yet. I think Tyler Hero seen just a little bit more than Austin Reeves right now. Because but Tyler Hero,
it's clear he's at 4-year, 120. So he's $30 million a year.
30 million. Ooh, I get Austin Reeves maybe about 20.
Tyler Hero's contract just started.
Just like I probably get Austin Reeves about 20 a year, somewhere up in that range. Because he fought. He came from he most definitely came from the bottom. I didn't expect him to actually be on the team fully this whole year. I thought he was going to be a back and forth player like he was last year, but
he stepped up.
He most definitely stepped up. But you don't want Jordan Poole him. Jordan Poole got that money, and then this year he wasn't.
That's the tough part.
He wasn't. But I will pay Austin Reeves because, like I said, for what he did if I'm not mistaken, he was undrafted. If I'm not mistaken,
who was that?
Austin Reeves.
Yeah, undrafted.
Yeah, he was undrafted. He fought his way through the G League. He made his way to a roster. So I will pay him. I will give him his money. I give him about 20, 25 a year.
And D'Lo?
Man, I was having this conversation with somebody, and D'Lo is he's I don't know. I don't think I can pay him.
Is there a pay cut in his future?
Say it again.
Is there a pay cut in his future?
I think it has to be. He was so inconsistent a little bit. One minute he can give you 30, then the next minute he give you 6. Then the next minute he give you almost a triple double. Then the next minute he give you 0. You know what I mean? Or he's in foul trouble, or he's taking the wrong shots. It's like D'Lo, he just haven't been consistent enough for me to say, yeah, I can bring you back with some money. You know what I mean? I think he's most definitely gonna have to take a pay cut if he's willing to stay with Braun and AD next year.
Okay.
But Vanderbilt, I most definitely take him. Out of all the trades right now, he's kind of my favorite.
But here's the problem that y'all gonna run into, and this is everybody's problem. All them jokers gonna want raises.
Yeah.
It's only so much money on the cap.
Roder, you already know he's still trying to get his money back.
Oh, he ain't getting that. He should have took that first deal. He messed that up.
He told us how he felt about getting paid. Vanderbilt, Lonnie Walker, all them jokers that's been stepping up, they gonna want to get compensated. And a bunch of
Lonnie Walker gonna get paid somewhere else. He gonna be just like Malik Monk, man. We're gonna lose another good one.
That's a good. I like that comparison. Well, all right. Shout out to Rob Pelinka. Shout out to LeBron James, maximizing talent. I can't hate. I gotta just admit what it is. So on to admitting what it is. Yeah, Kenny, that's cool. You ain't missed much.
Yeah.
So I am the guy here who I like Rolling. I do. I think he's a talented fighter. He's in Mayweather's camp. He was undefeated. I think he was beating Tank until he got knocked out. So I think he has talent.
I think he was competitive versus Tank. I don't know if he was beat.
I think he was up on the cards. That's all I'm going off of.
Y'all know I'm biased. I ain't gonna state my stance.
Go back and look. I think
is he signed to Mayweather Promotions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only reason he fought Davis. He didn't deserve that. But this, I love boxing. Like I really like boxing a lot.
And I think that ref that called that fight, he's a great ref.
Great ref. I think we live in a world people scared. I saw Jamal Charlo just posted maybe in the last week. I think it's like 30 boxers a year die. Or some, it was a really morbid stat.
Mm-hmm.
And so boxing has to fix their judges and they got to fix these refs. I don't know if you can challenge. I don't know what you can do because once somebody's dazed, like, and the ref stop it, it's unfair. Like to like, no, just kidding. Like the moment could be gone. If there's something they can do quick, I don't know. There needs to be a second ref that can overrule quickly. If the ref stop it, you got 10 seconds to get in there. Like, no, just kidding. I don't know. Reset something. But that was arguably one of the worst stoppages I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Rolly was losing that fight as far as
yes.
I think he was starting to figure it out, but he hadn't cracked the code yet. And I do believe that the opponent, because he was 40, played a role in this.
Mm-hmm. And it was a short, and he caught the fight. It was like only 4 weeks into the before the fight or something.
It just, it was so bad. It was so bad. The undercards were pretty underwhelming, in my opinion. There's a couple guys I wanted to see. I can't remember their names off the top of my head.
Sims was a good one.
You think so?
What was that? Sims
that was a good fight. That was action. That was a solid fight. It was this.
What was the one with the dude Bartholomew or Bartholomew?
Yeah, Ramses, and I liked him. He took an L or two along the way, and he's a guy.
His fighting style just looked nonchalant. It didn't look like he wanted to be in there.
Not just a guy. So yeah, fight ended disappointing. Rolly did win. He has the title. But that's my 2 cents. I'll let you do your thing.
That fight was garbage, number one. Like, really. Like, I'm mad that I took a nap to stay up to watch that fight, really. I kept telling him, I'm tired of going to sleep on these daggone fights. I'm going to take me in. And I took a nap. And I was thinking that Rolly, I was like, he didn't do his usually pop off, but he still made it entertaining. And I was like, a 40-year-old fight? A fighter? I say, yeah, Rolly, this is where you got to solidify yourself. You should laugh at people for putting you in front of a 40-year-old fighter. But as I told y'all in that group chat, that 40-year-old gave Rolly the work. I'm talking about he had Rolly playing backup. He had Rolly playing DB throughout the most of the fight. He had him backpedaling, and he would just taking it to him, and he would catch him in the corner.
I just saw it. That was bad.
and Rolly corner kept telling him, "Stop going in the corner. Stop letting him do this. Stop." And it was just like the guy just knew exactly what to do. And Rolly, I understand you stepped up into a new class and all that, and
he looked good. He was in good shape.
Yeah, good shape. Power still like he got the power, got the nice snap, but I just think that he's not a big time fighter yet. I think we gotta pump the brakes on Rolly a little bit. I think he should be an undercard for some of these big fights right now. Because now he's calling out Ryan Garcia. He wants to fight Ryan Garcia all of a sudden because he said he believes that he can't get Tank in a rematch. Because now Tank is, so far gone. I think he's past.
I said that before, though. I said that's why I want Ryan Garcia to fight because I don't think he's ready.
Yeah,
he's ready for Haney or Stevenson, in my opinion.
Me neither.
I think Garcia beats Rolly.
I think so too. And I think only reason why Garcia wins is because of speed. A lot of people sleep on Garcia's speed. Yeah,
speed.
So I think that's what Rolly's going to have trouble with because we just seen that I hate to keep saying the 40-year-old boxer, but I can't remember his name. But
Barroso.
Yeah, his speed wasn't all of that, but you can tell once upon a time he had speed, and
I saw he dropped Rolly back.
Yes, in the second round. He caught Rolly. He caught Rolly like how Tank caught him.
Going straight back.
So that's why I think Rolly, man, he has to win some more fights before he takes another big fight. I think he can't be a main. I don't think he can be a main card, not just yet.
I'll rock with that. Chris, did you get a chance to watch the fight? Is he still with us?
Chris went to sleep.
It happens. So I do want to ask this question. I think we can argue a little bit about this. Who's been the most disappointing team in this NBA playoffs, in your opinion?
The Sixers.
No, he woke up for that one.
This Philadelphia 76ers.
Talk about it. Explain that to me, because I don't agree with that, but I'll let you.
Oh no, that's a pure bias pick, 100%. But if not the Sixers, you go Milwaukee.
Did you really think y'all would beat Boston?
100%.
Okay.
I look at Game 6 and I look how we had that in our hands, and you can't close out a game and you lost the game because of one person, because your star players didn't capitalize, because your coach didn't execute simple game plans to get you simple buckets. It should be 4-2 Philadelphia. They should be looking to play Miami right now. That's a disappointing loss.
I'd have y'all. Okay. Dev, for you.
Cleveland Cavaliers. I just think that all the hype that they had put into the season, man, I was thinking that they was going to give the Knicks a little bit more of a fight. And I thought Donovan Mitchell was going to, ball out like how he was in the season. But as we all knew and we all said it, Donovan Mitchell is the same Donovan Mitchell that he was in Utah. But so I just think that Cleveland, they got the right pieces. They got two good guards. They got two good bigs. I think they need to work on that bench just a little bit. But far as that, I just think Cleveland was disappointed. I didn't expect them to be out the first round.
For me, I'll say disappointing. I'm not gonna put that on Cleveland. I didn't expect much out of them. And it was their first time around. They just weren't ready. So I'm with that. Kenny, who? Oh, you didn't go yet.
No.
Chris went first. He went personal. And
Yeah.
that's not. I didn't. Obviously, I picked Boston to win the series, but there's just too many factors. I don't think it's a disappointment for me.
It is for me.
Philly?
I'm with them. I'm with them because
to
two
Boston,
reasons.
to the Eastern
Two
Conference.
reasons. One, because you went And when you went and won Game 5 on the road, and you go back home with a chance to close out the series, and you lay an egg. And then Game 7, you lay an even bigger egg than you laid in Game 6. So to me, that's why I'm the most disappointed in Philly, because they weren't even competitive in Game 7. Like that game was over in the third quarter.
But there was the Phoenix got blown out. Golden State got blown out.
They did. I'm just saying, but there wasn't. They didn't have the game. They didn't have Game 6 at home with a chance to close it out, though.
That's fair.
That's why they're the most disappointing for me.
Okay. I'm definitely disagreeing with you on that, Damian. I think I said it. They ran into the wrong.
Yeah, I think if they didn't go into the Warriors,
they're taking their lumps, growing pains.
Yeah,
they'll be back.
Most definitely.
That leads me to. I am gonna go Milwaukee also. I get what Miami is currently doing. You brought in Drew Holiday, Jay Crowder, Chris Middleton came back. Giannis, he got hurt for like a game or two, but
that should have still been enough.
It was. They lost Tyler.
But I just think that Giannis been hurt throughout the whole year. I don't think he was really healthy going into, because remember he was hurt in All-Star. Then he took 2 weeks after that, and then he came right back, went into full game mode. Then he missed the last 2 weeks of the season going into the first game of the playoff. I just think that Giannis was just hurt.
The best team in the league shouldn't lose to a playing team.
I'm with you on that one.
Like, if you're healthy and they were healthy enough, y'all been there enough. Y'all that's too much for me. Memphis is the next closest. I started to say them. Like, I get similar situation. I get what the Lakers represent, but the way they lost, like, that was embarrassing. And then the reports that came out of the team and dysfunction, Jaren Jackson's tweet, Brooks not going to the press conference and them saying they're not bringing them back. And now Ja, like, that's a mess. But for me, disappointing got to be the Bucks. And Giannis, I hear you. But this year was a failure. You ain't the best record in the league, and you go out in the first round. That's a failure.
Yeah, you can't be a 1 seed losing the first round and then not be disappointed. At least disappointing. You got to at least say that.
I don't think you trained all season to go out in the first round, so you didn't accomplish your goal. So that's failing to me, and that's okay. Yeah. You learn and you come back again the next year. So that is interesting. I did want to get you guys' opinion on one thing, and I got to pull it up because I want to get the team right. Oh, dang, we don't really have enough time. I don't know what y'all time is.
Thursday.
Real quick, Magic Johnson. Shout out to Magic. I've been hard on you on this show because I'm trying to elevate you to where you don't belong or leave you where I don't believe you belong. But as one of the new owners of the Washington Commanders, I would like to welcome and support you going forward. Feel free to bring Starbucks to the stadium if you need. You can change the team name. I'm good with that.
So is he a GOAT point guard?
No. But he's one of my favorite point guard owner of the Commanders. I just want to say thank God that it's tough. We talked about it. We'll talk about it more as basketball slows down and football pick up. But God dang, this NFC East is loaded. So he got an uphill battle. But shout out to him and Josh Harris and the team for getting it done. Buying for $6 billion. The Commanders.
Did he sell his ownership in the Sixers, or he has both?
I haven't heard anything about him selling it.
Okay.
I think he's managing to do both somehow. So,
he got stakes in the Sixers too.
Yeah, that's how. That's where he come from. When the money comes from. Well, no, he got a lot of money, but. That's a big part of his wealth empire is the ownership group that runs that team too. But I think got a couple other. It's the Sixers and it's another Philly team. I thought.
I think he owns like the hockey, like the Devils or something like that. Like he owns a few teams. So I'm just curious.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
I need to do more research on him. I ain't gonna lie,
Mhm.
to see if the teams he owns have won anything. What kind of owner is he? But I like Magic. I like what Magic has done with the Dodgers. He put money in there. He did get LeBron to LA. I got to give him that much. He got fired shortly thereafter. I think Rob Pelinka deserves more credit, but
He
did
quit. He ain't get fired.
Is he gonna get Tom Brady to the
No,
Washington?
don't disrespect Magic like that. He quit. He ain't.
Personally, I think firing would have been better because the way he quit was trash. So we don't got to rehash old history, but that wasn't a better way out, in my opinion. But for dignity's sake, I'll give you that.
If Magic can bring the one GOAT to the Lakers, can he bring another GOAT to the to the Commanders? Can he bring Tom Brady out of retirement?
We don't. Tom Brady's trying to buy a team. Also, that's what I was actually looking for. That led me to this.
Isn't he for the Raiders? Isn't he like a minority? Didn't that happen already, or is that in the works?
That's in the works.
Oh, okay.
I seen I can't think of the owner of the Raiders right now.
Al Davis Jr.
Yeah. He was trying to. He's talking to Tom Brady for him being a partnership of the Raiders, though.
I did not realize that Josh Harris was born in Chevy Chase, Maryland, which is kind of cool. Wharton School of Business, and he owns the Sixers,
Sixers and the Devils.
HBSC.
That's part of that group.
Okay, and then he's a general partner for Crystal Palace FC, a soccer squad. So obviously connected, variety of sports. Now he has a football team under his belt, so he's just covering the gambit. But it's whatever. I'm open. I like the Sixers overall. They were run relatively well. Trusted the process, didn't work out. Hired Doc, didn't work out. So hopefully he'll fire Ron Rivera. That'd be great. But we'll see. We got Eric Bieniemy just sitting there. Like
he just got there. He just sitting there. He just got there.
You need to get on up there.
Like my man Stephen A would say, he ain't even had a chance to pass gas, and you want the guy.
Hey, time's a wasted. But yeah, great show, fellas. Lot to get into. I expected a lot more Curry hate. Didn't get it. I can live with it. Maybe for another day.
It wasn't the problem. That's serious.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so good to hear. I was ready for that.
Oh, you know I'm fair. We may not always agree. I'm always fair.
Fair is relative, but okay, we'll go with that. But yeah, gentlemen, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. To people that stayed on with us, thank you for the feedback. Rod, Chris, thank y'all for hanging out with us. We should be back on Thursday. I know I say that a lot, and then life be lifing, but it should be on Thursday after the Eastern and Western we ain't pick. We didn't pick.
Lakers are 6.
I ain't picking.
Lakers in 6. Heat in 7.
No, Celtics. I got Celtics. I'm going with the old school. Celtics, Lakers.
Okay, Celtics, LA. God, y'all got me in here.
Yeah, Celtics in 6. Lakers. Lakers in 6. Both in 6.
That Eastern Conference, man, just not so.
Yeah. I think that Boston has enough defense to slow down those shooters.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Boston too.
Yeah, I'm going Lakers Celtics.
That's interesting. Here's where I'm at with it.
I just feel like Miami they so relentless, man.
But I like but the Celtics have the perimeter defense to really keep those shooters from being able to get going. And then they got a couple of guys that they can put on Jimmy Butler as well. They can switch off between Tatum and Brown, and even Marcus Smart to take the turn out of what's the other guy that came from Derek White. They got a few bodies that they could run at Jimmy Butler. So I think he's going to wear down. And I think they're going to slow down or limit those guys, the Lowrys, the Dave Vincents, and the Struces of the world. Those guys, limit them from really getting going.
All right, quick question.
Okay.
Do the Celtics survive even with Tatum having another slump?
I don't know because Miami they struggle to score sometimes too because in that Knicks series there was a couple of games where they were struggling to score, shooting in the low 30, 30, 39, mid 30s. So they can struggle too. So I think they can.
So we all went Boston, LA.
I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Boston, LA.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm gonna go LA in 6, Boston in 7.
Okay. Damian went Heat, Nuggets. I want to pick Miami because I like Spoelstra. I think you're gonna have them ready, but I just think they're gonna wear down.
Yeah.
I think it just finally runs out.
And I think Boston. We're gonna
I'm with you on that one, Ray, because like when Tatum going them slumps, man, it's not like he going a 2-game slump. He's like in a ditch. It's just like
once he get going,
look out.
And Jaylen Brown, quiet as kept. Jaylen Brown is pretty consistent.
Jaylen Brown was consistent last year in the finals. It was just Tatum.
And that's why I said last episode, I would keep Jaylen Brown and trade Jason Tatum because he's more consistent. I think Jason Tatum's a better player, higher ceiling, but God, he'd be mad inconsistent.
Tricky.
So we're gonna see. Boston, LA. Boston would have the home court, so LeBron in a Lakers jersey going to Boston. Hey, let me say this: if that happens, and he beats Boston, he's going to win a fan. If he gets the Lakers to beat Boston in the finals, one, he enters Lakers lore where they've been trying to keep him out of.
Getting the 2 chips. Yeah.
2 chips and beating Boston.
Oh, forget about it. Yeah, that solidifies him.
You in there with Kobe. You in there with Kobe.
You're in there with Kobe.
But you in there with him.
You're not over top.
No,
but
right.
You in the conversation with Kobe.
Solidified as the Lakers great. He does.
You jump up the list real far with that Celtic, and obviously the Finals MVP that will go along with it and all that.
So do AD jump? Do AD jump with Braun, or it's just Braun that takes this jump?
As a Lakers legend, or as a
he goes into
both. Let's go both real quick.
Let's do this. If Braun wins Finals MVP, do y'all have AD as a greater Laker than Lamar Odom?
I don't know, because Lamar got 2.
It depends on his numbers. I think it depends on what his numbers are. Because quiet as kept.
12.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
because his impact on the defensive end.
Yeah. Well, you gotta think Odom was solid on the defensive end too.
He was, but in terms of game changer, like AD is a different monster.
I'm with you because that first time against Boston, Lamar Odom couldn't do nothing. We needed Andrew Bynum.
Yeah, that second. Was that the best Lamar Odom at that time?
It was before the Kardashians, so yeah, it was.
I don't know. Hearing this story, it might have started earlier, but yeah, you're right. Because God bless anybody that deals with him. But yeah, good show, gentlemen. Good show. A lot. We had to get to a lot. I knew that. We navigated through it pretty well. We're gonna see what how game 1. Actually, we won't see game 1
tomorrow, and lottery tomorrow too.
And lottery. And we got also put this in the topic for Thursday, man. Devin Haney fights this weekend.
Yes, Loma. Yeah, we got to pick that one.
Yeah,
poor marketing. I thought that was bad because I knew the fight was coming.
I'm sure he'll be.
Because I only seen one. I seen one Instagram post because I'm following Haney.
Yeah. I'm about to say, I'm sure we'll see him on First Take and stuff NBA like that this week.
Every other night. I ain't seen a Devin Haney Lomachenko fight on ESPN yet while they advertise in the NBA.
Well, you gotta think they ain't even advertised the Rolly in his person fight.
But that was Showtime though. So
on ESPN.
Yeah, right. I think you'll see it this week.
Devin Haney during the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I think you'll see it this week though, because the really well. you really start seeing it as the fight week comes up. You start seeing more of that stuff. So if we don't see anything this week, then I give it to you.
And now we're getting long, but this is a miss. You know how HBO has like the road to the fight or whatever they do?
Mm-hmm.
ESPN should have did that for this fight. This is a big fight.
I thought they did.
Did they? I haven't seen
I thought I saw something over the weekend that they did something. I'm gonna look it up and if I can find it, I'll put it in the group.
But
yeah, I think I saw something. If I can find it, I'm gonna put it in the group chat. But I feel like I saw like they started doing an episode. Like
I can find it. This is a big fight for both of them.
Yeah, but it is needed. I agree with you.
And this projects the winner probably to fight Davis. So why they're not marketing it better, in my opinion, I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time I open the ESPN app, I should be seeing either that or the daggone NBA.
You'll see that pay-per-view start popping up like they do with them UFC.
That's like day of. That's bad. Don't wait till the day of, because now it's Saturday night. I got plans. I'm busy.
I hear you.
So, but yeah, we'll see. We got a lot to get to on Thursday. We'll recap basketball fight this weekend.
Lottery.
The lottery. I'm not excited about the lottery. None of my people are going to do nothing. But
well, you're in the lottery, right? You got a chance, don't you?
Stuck in the lottery.
The Wizards don't never get in the top 5 in the lottery.
I'm just saying.
In the
you got John Wall. You won it one time.
No, we won it. We drafted Otto Porter high, Wall high, and
Kwame Brown, right?
Kwame. Well, that was a long time ago. But yeah, Kwame.
I'm just saying, y'all won.
And we had Jan Vesely. So we've had a couple. We just don't usually.
And y'all had a couple of number ones. So
we don't do the best with it. So
you may mess it up, but
yeah, for sure.
Well, this one is a no-brainer though. So if you get this one, you can't mess this one up.
Yeah, we're not. Well, maybe, But I heard Victor's not coming. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah,
no, Victor, he coming. He already said he did an interview with Malika Andrews. Said he's coming.
Yeah, and if you don't get him, you get Scoop. Anderson was a monster too.
We are not getting a top 3 pick, Kenny. I would love for it to happen.
How am I more optimistic than you are?
Because you were trying to play us like we was that bad. We wasn't that bad.
It don't matter. All you need is one ball.
You're right. Okay. All right. Y'all have a
line, brother.
Tomorrow night, Kenny, pray for us so we get a top 3. And I will have the faith of Job and myself. Y'all have a great one. We out.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.